Dan, first of all, just give us your immediate reaction to your game today. 18 points on the national TV stage in your senior night. Like, what's your emotional reaction to the performance tonight?
I mean, obviously, I'm super happy with how it went, and more importantly, we won, which is the big thing with us. I think the back-to-back wins hopefully will give us some momentum going into next week. So, just super excited for that. Obviously, glad about how today went, but we got to move on already. Next up, MAC tournament. So.
You set a program record with 15 straight home wins. Can you talk about the environment at Millette, especially tonight, but just in the season overall?
I think as the season went on, it got better and better. I mean, obviously tonight it was incredible. It's been great for a while now, and that home environment gives us so much of a boost. Coming out on the court. When the other team goes on a run, it just helps us carry momentum. So big shout out to all the students and all the people showing out. We really appreciate it.
When you transferred here, what was the couple reasons that you came here?
I had a great time at Eastern Illinois. Coach Marty Simmons, great coach, great program. I wanted to get my master's degree, so I decided to enter the portal to try to get my master's degree. I'm going to play another year. I might as well, if I'm going to get my degree, I might as well play another year. So they reached out to me close to home. It was a great fit. I love what the coaches were selling. So it was just it was a great decision and pretty easy decision for me.
Dan, as the oldest player on this roster, coming down to crunch time now, how do you think your leadership will help your team going into this closing stretch of the season?
I just hope that I can help carry the guys. Just bring energy every day. I've played. It's a long season. I've played a lot of games, so just help prepare those young guys for what's coming. Keep their head on straight. Not that they need help anyway. I mean, they play like they're seniors, but just helping them out in any way that they need. To be honest, anything they need from me, I can help them out. So.
Dan, you went to Defiance out of high school. Were D1s not looking at you, or what?
No, they weren't. The coaches at Defiance reached out to me, and I'm grateful for my time there as well. I did not have any D1s out of high school.
So you got better, or they missed it?
I think I definitely got better. I don't think they were missing much with me in high school.
Hey, your friend looks fine. You got like the first 7 points or something like that. How'd it feel to be able to get in the groove right away and get your team a lead?
It was great. My teammates were looking for me. They've been telling me all week to let it fly when I get in there or to start the game. So they were really looking for me at the start of the game, and I really appreciate that. But again, it was me tonight. But as you guys know, it's been a different person every night almost, it feels like. So again, I think that's what makes this team so special.
Obviously, I have a lot of respect for Ball State and their men's basketball program. I think Michael Luers does a great job. They got a couple really good players. We knew we were going to have a huge challenge with Peyton Sparks, Hill. I think are both all league level players. Mickey Pearson has been playing really well coming into our game. So we knew we had our hands full, and I thought our guys had great couple days of preparation. Again, we hadn't played them for a while. I think they were the second game of the year, I think, in league play. So it's been a while since we had played them. But I thought, being on senior night, obviously, Dan Luers, couldn't be happier for him. He's meant a lot to our program, and I know from a fan's perspective and maybe to the outside world, he hasn't played as much. They don't understand how big of an impact he's had on our program. And he's a big reason why we've been able to turn around our program and just his day-to-day, who he is as a leader, who he is as a person, his competitiveness, his toughness, whether it's in lifting, whether it's a shoot-around, whether it's practice. He really impacts our program. And that's why we brought him here, because I know who he is. He's going to be successful no matter what he does in life. He could go be a beach volleyball player. He could go be a plumber. He could go be a financial investor. He's going to be ultra successul because of who he is on a day-to-day basis. So I was really happy for him. He obviously played really well. He stepped up when Peter went down. Peter's fine. He'll be fine. We just try to be cautious with Peter. That's why we didn't throw him back in there. but Dan was playing so gosh darn well, man. It's like I told Pete, you better watch out for Dan. So, but again, it's the same story of our team. I thought our defense was early on was terrific. I thought we were contesting everything, made them take contested jump shots. Our pace of offense was really good. You know, getting the ball up and down. That's always an advantage for us if it's not a half court game, if it's up tempo. And I thought that's how the game was. And we just have so many different guys out there that can score the ball and shoot it. And with our passing, you know, we're really hard to guard. I think we finished with 18 assists, which was good. I wish our defense would have been a little better the last couple minutes of the game. But it is what it is. Our focus is going to move here to Cleveland, MAC tournament. It's the best time of the year, 3 games in 3 days.
Coach, how do you keep the team grounded on a night like this, senior night, and then in the horizon you got the MAC tournament?
Yeah, I think just keeping the main thing. You know, so when we lost, our guys knew we couldn't catch up to Akron to win the regular season title, and I think it was a hard moment for our guys to realize, like, oh man, we can't complete one of our goals, right? And it's human nature. That was a couple games ago that it happened. It was the night before Ohio, actually. But then I told the guys, listen, we can still lock up number 2. And it hasn't been done in a long time here. I think the last time was 1997, I believe, was the last time that we had been a 2 seed in the MAC tournament. And we had a chance to obviously protect. If we protected home court during this end of stretch here at the end of the season, we'd have a chance to set the record for the most wins in a row here at Millette, which is now 15. And we had a chance to tie the most victories in a season, in the regular season, which is 23, right? So we knew there were still some goals out there. And listen, our biggest goal is obviously to win the MAC tournament and make the NCAA tournament. So you want to be playing your best basketball at the end of a regular season, so you got that momentum going into it. So I thought our guys had the right mindset. You know, I really did. And kind of going into this game, our player leadership is so good. I always say coach-led teams are not nearly as good as player-led teams. And Dan Luers and Evan Apsaro and Peter Suter were voted captains for a reason. They do a great job of leading our group day to day. So they know that the best time of the year is we're about to embark on, right? It's a whole new season. I mean, everybody 0-0, throw their records out. They do not matter. It's an awesome time of the year. This is Christmas for us. Any basketball fan or basketball coaches or basketball players out there.
Coach, you're coming in on a 2-game win streak, but how does the game plan change in a 3-game in 3-day format going down to Cleveland?
You know, for us, so I you do your research, like who's been really successful in the MAC tournament, right? How do you win it, right? Obviously it's been well documented. I think we're a pretty explosive offensive team. Our ball moves, our shooting, and we have a lot of different guys. But our defense is pretty darn good too. All right, like it really is. Like I think we're 4th going into tonight. We're 4th analytically in our league. We're number 2 offensively. I think you got to be in that top 4 on both ends of the floor in order to give yourself a chance to win in Cleveland. Because there's odds are you're gonna have a bad shooting night one of the nights. Can you still win on that night? Right. So your defense has to be good enough. Your rebounding has to be good enough. You got to be able to take care of the ball, right? Because efficiency-wise, like you're going to be off one night, so it's like, can you get sheer field goal attempts up more than the other team, right? That gives you a bigger margin of error. And I think our team is built for that. Our pace is built for that. Our depth is built for it as well. You know, we play 9 guys consistently on a night-in, night-out basis. You know, so 3 games in 3 days isn't too much for our group. Teams that play 5 or 6, really hard. Really hard, I think, to win 3 games in 3 days. So we put together our team with in mind specifically Cleveland winning 3 games in 3 days.
Travis, Dan comes in and the other guys don't really know him that much, but he gets voted captain. That's because he made an impression right away, or he's older guy, or why was it that?
Yeah, great question. You know, Dan was here for a few months. We didn't vote for captains until I think it was early October. So he'd only been here for 3 or 4 months, and I think just the person he is day in, day out, the respect factor of like he prepares the right way, the energy he brings, the toughness, the competitiveness. He's almost like a coach in a lot of ways too. Just how he would help kind of put his arm around a Luke Scaljak freshman. Like how he would help Brant Byers, who's young. We're really young. I mean, super young. And that's, again, I told Dan that in the recruiting process, I thought we needed an older voice, somebody played a lot of college basketball, and Dan has. And he's made a ton of sacrifices. And I always point to Dan. It's like if Dan can sacrifice, and anybody can sacrifice in this room. Because Dan's a good player. It's not like, hey, listen, he can play. I mean, he showed that tonight. I mean, he's a good player. And for him to sacrifice like he has, I think that even gains more respect from his teammates. How can you not be a great teammate? Like, you have no excuse if Dan Luers can do it. You have no excuse. You have no excuse at all. So he sets the tone for us in a lot of ways on a day-in, day-out basis, and those young guys know that.
Coach, you were without Suter tonight, but Cam Kraft really went off 19 points. How does it feel to have a sharpshooter like that?
Oh, man. Cam has in the gym range. I mean, it's just he could score from anywhere on the floor, and his teammates do a great job of finding him. They trust him. They know we run stuff for him, but he also gets lost kind of within our pace is really good for him. So, again, he's a game changer. It's like I said, even when he's not scoring on that possession, just the gravity he creates on that possession, the space, I mean, it's incredible, for what he does for all the guys that can drive the ball on the team.
Another couple points, and Luers would have been Dan would have been the leading scorer tonight. And throughout the season, there's been a number of different people that have, led the team. That makes it a lot tougher to prepare when the points can come from almost anywhere up and down the lineup and the bench.
Yeah, we have a lot of good players. We really do. I mean, we're deep. We're one of the deeper teams in the league. Any night it could be different. Each night could be a different guy. Tonight, Cam maybe led us in scoring with 19. To your point, Dan had 18. The next night, Luke Skowjak's going to have 17. Then Brent Byers going to have 18. Then Ian Elmer's going to have 20. And then Suter's had a game over 4. It's just Reese Potter, Antoine Woolfolk, Cooper's had games over 20. Ipsaro, when we played against Ohio here, he was the best guard on the floor in that game. I mean, I think that's the strength of our team. We have a lot of good players. Our guys play very unselfish. They cut for one another. They run for one another. They set screens for one another. Extremely connected and off the court, and I think that leads to really good results on the court of how we play offensively.
Coach, with the MAC tournament coming up, obviously you faced a lot of these teams before. How does that speak about the strength of the league? You see a lot of upsets. Last year you saw Kent State defeat Toledo. What does that speak about the MAC tournament?
Yeah, anybody, it's why everybody loves March Madness, right? It's anything can happen. This isn't the NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs, usually the best team's always going to win. You play 7 games, usually the best team's going to win the 4 games, right? I mean, what makes college basketball so gosh darn exciting, once you get to the conference tournaments, NCAA tournament, it doesn't matter. It's just that 40 minutes. That's why you see it's the most watched sport, right? It's incredible. It's exciting to watch because you see all these upsets that happen throughout college basketball. Right, you see Oakland, obviously they beat Kentucky last year. You see the St. Peter's go on a run. Like, it happens every year. And it's just a great reminder, I think, like, that anybody can beat anybody, right? And I got asked a question the other night, and I thought it was a great question. They said, well, we were kind of playing with house money the last couple years. Made the MAC tournament. We were an 8 seed year 1, 7 seed year 2. How are we going to handle being the 2 seed? And to me, I have to set the tone, and our players have to set the tone. And we're going to be loose. We're going to be who we are, unapologetically, right? We're going to have fun. We're going to compete. We're going to be connected. Doesn't mean that we're going to be perfect, but, like, we're going to prepare. Everybody knows everybody. To your point, we've all played each other before, so everybody knows everybody. The more connected, tougher team is going to win. Period. Who can handle adversity? We're going to face adversity probably in that first round game. I have no idea who we're playing yet, but we're going to face it. And can we handle a punch? Can we take a punch? Right? Like last year, we were up on Akron. Right? We were up on Akron the first half. And then they handled that punch, and they threw a punch kind of late first half, kind of into the early second half. You look at Kent State, to your point. Kent State beat Toledo, and shoot, honestly, they probably should have won it last year. If we're, like Akron was pretty fortunate at the end of that game that the kid fouled from Kent State. So anybody can win this, and I think our league is very deep. There's a lot of really good coaches, really good players, and every game's hard. Every game's hard. So we're going to prepare like that first game. Whoever we do play, it's going to be our Super Bowl.